This is the best example of a corrupt judge that I think you'll ever see in your entire life. Ready? Go.
He was convicted of sexually molesting an 8-year-old girl, making national headlines in 2006 when Judge Edward Cashman sentenced him to 60 days in jail. The judge came under fire and defended his actions, saying he wanted to send Hewlett to prison, but wanted him in sex offender treatment immediately. That wasn't offered to low-risk offenders behind bars at the time, so Judge Cashman wanted to make a point.
I think that particular decision was the high point of my career.
Vermont is in the middle of nowhere. I can't believe this stuff is going down in my backyard, where you would think nothing is going down. I think this little sex ring, this child pornography ring, may even be connected to the CNN producer, the high-up CNN. Look it up. 2 of them were busted with child porn. 1 of them was in Vermont. I think this whole thing's connected, and they were using this little woodland area as a little pedophile hideaway. I think Smuggler's Notch may even be... I'm not even going to go that deep. I'm just saying it may be so deep that we may not be able to comprehend it. Check out these news clips.
Thank you, Connor. Operation Bada Bing has 8 men facing charges related to child pornography this morning.
Channel 3's Erin Brown digs into the archives to give you a clearer picture of 2 of those men.
8 men between the ages of 25 and 74 were arrested during the week of May 13th on charges of possession and promotion of child pornography. Several agencies, including the Crimes Against Children Task Force, teamed up to track down these men after receiving cyber tips alerting them to criminal activity on their electronics. Half of them are being charged by the state. Authorities say these 4 men had pictures of child pornography on their computers and hard drives. The 4 other men are being charged federally, and 2 of these names may ring a bell.
Following arrest today in connection with the murder and sexual assault of 12-year-old Melissa Walbridge of Essex.
Lewis Hamlin is the father of one of the most infamous killers in the state. His son, Louis Hamlin III, was sentenced to 45 years to life in prison for the rape, torture, and stabbing of 2 12-year-old girls in 1981. One of them died, the other lived to identify Hamlin as a suspect. The other person in that attack, Jamie Savage, was 15 at the time. He served fewer than 3 years because Vermont law said he could only be tried in juvenile court.
Simply can't comprehend, can't understand why our law permits this result.
Lawmakers went on to pass the toughest juvenile law in the country, lowering the age a minor could be tried as an adult for murder and sexual assault to 10 years old.
Do you fear he may rape another child?
Well, you never know.
The second familiar name on the list is Mark Hewlett. He was convicted of sexually molesting an 8-year-old girl, making national headlines in 2006 when Judge Edward Cashman sentenced him to 60 days in jail. The judge came under fire and defended his actions, saying he wanted to send Hewlett to prison, but wanted him in sex offender treatment immediately. That wasn't offered to low-risk offenders behind bars at the time, so Judge Cashman wanted to make a point.
I think that particular decision was the high point of my career.
That prompted then-Governor Jim Douglas to mandate prisons offer sex offender treatment to all inmates. Judge Cashman then resentenced Hewlett to serve at least 3 years. The men charged by the state are set to appear in court in June, and 3 of the 4 men federally charged are being detained pending trial. Reporting in the studio, Erin Brown, Channel 3 News.
8 men are facing charges of possession and promotion of child pornography. Attorney General T.J. Donovan and U.S. Attorney Christina Nolan announced this morning that the men were arrested 2 weeks ago. The men were charged with having images of child porn on their computers. U.S. Attorney Nolan described these cases as, quote, immoral and disturbing. She said authorities will continue working together to track down and punish anyone who hurts kids.
State and federal law enforcement will work together to bring you swift and serious consequences. We will never stop fighting for children. Every child represents hope, innocence, and vulnerability. Please also bear in mind that we won't hesitate to use our mandatory minimum charges in federal court against the most egregious child exploitation offenders.
We work extremely hard in protecting children.
In this important operation that took place last week.
My office and Vermonters.
Each of the men who are being charged by the state are set to appear in court in June. We'll have more on that tonight at 11.
The fact that any of this would ever go down is absolutely mind-blowing, and you may want to rewatch this video and pay attention to everyone's voice. Some of the reporters and some of the people speaking, including TJ Donovan, if I remember correctly, have pretty shaky voices. It's pretty weird to me. All of it's pretty strange to me, and all of it's connected in really weird ways. I'm going to show you one more aspect of this, zooming in, and this gentleman who was involved in literally child rape videos, child murder and rape videos, literally was only sentenced to 25 years. 25 years. One child, murdering one child on purpose, torturing a child, you should be put to death. How did you only get 25 years and the judge chose to go with the more lenient sentence? What in the world? You guys need to see this. You need to share this. This is crazy. And you make sure you watch vtvault.org/justthetip after this. It'll blow it up global and really show you what's really going on in the world. This is just one little tiny example. It's probably going on in your backyard too. This is insane. Make sure you get this out there.
Years in prison for a Vermont man convicted of gruesome crimes and accused of a murder-for-hire plot to kidnap and torture a victim overseas. Sean Fiore was sentenced just over an hour ago in federal court in Burlington. Cam Smith was there for both days of the sentencing hearing. Cam, what happened in court?
Yeah, Darren, after nearly 4 hours of closing arguments from both the defense and the government and a statement from Fiore himself, Judge Christina Reich issued the 27-year sentence and a lifetime of supervised release. 38-year-old Sean Fiore pleaded guilty to federal child pornography charges in October of last year after investigators found more than 700 images and videos on an external hard drive. During the course of the investigation, police also determined Fiore had hired a woman from Venezuela to make child torture videos and to kidnap, torture, and allegedly kill a man on video. In court this afternoon, Fiore described how apologetic he was to his family, his wife at the time, and the victim. He said he was only thinking about himself and that the thoughts of what he did are now shocking to him. Fiore said he is willing to seek treatment and that he wants to let this dark side of him go. The government wanted the court to impose a life sentence, and the defense argued for 25 years. Judge Rice sided with the defense and imposed the lower end of the sentence and said Fiore will serve 85% of the 27 years behind bars. Upon his release, there are a series of stringent conditions that he must follow, including registering as a sex offender and no contact with anyone under the age of 18. Live in the studio, Cam Smith, Channel 3 News.
Just as a bonus, I just want to include two crazy commercial clips that I saw trying to get these videos to get out to you guys. Just check out these commercials. They're messed up. I just figured I'd throw them in there.
I was excited to get the vaccine because I want to see my friends more, and I hope when we all get vaccinated we can play together again. I'm just gonna have a lot more fun. All the cool kids are getting it, so it's just like the thing around school. Hey, get the vaccine! I want to get the vaccine because it's important to keep you and your family safe.
You should get it too, because it'll protect us all when you're fully vaccinated.
I'm getting my vaccine in a few days, and so should you.
I heard Kitty Drugs can back the fam.
You bet we can.
HPV?
Yes, sirree.
Measles, mumps, and rubella?
Don't forget the varicella.
Meningitis?
And hepatitis.
Tdap?
It's on tap. Vax the fam.
You bet we can.